Hello and welcome to Avoidant-Therapist with me, Michaela McCarthy.
And me, Dipti Solanki. We'll be bringing you stories and insights from inside the therapy room. Who do we have as our guest this week, Michaela?
We have Hilton da Silva, who is a qualified psychosexual and relationship therapist. He has an interesting story, actually. I think what got him interested in therapy was that not just his own issues, but also he had mental health issues within his family.
Okay.
And I think when, my take on it is when you have mental health issues or addiction issues or whatever issues within the family, it does affect the family.
Yeah, sure.
And
I think a lot of people resonate with that. And did you say he's a sex therapist?
He's a psychosexual and relationship therapist, so he works with individuals and couples. And he works with same-sex couples as well.
Nice. Looking forward to speaking with him.
Me too. So welcome to our podcast, Hilton, Avoidant-Therapist.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. So tell us why you actually went into therapy or thought about therapy. When did it all start for you?
Well, reflecting back, I believe that I went through a personal struggle with my family.
Okay.
And my brother, of course, at the time, didn't know what was to come. We just noticed that he was struggling with his mental health. He would have outbursts of anger. And at the time, people spoke not much about other types of mental health issues. We heard about depression, anxiety, OCD even, but what we later discovered is he had a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. But to get to that diagnosis took maybe 3 years.
What happened then with you and the family and your brother then during that time? Because you're talking about bipolar, where people are really affected, family as well, that it's a mental illness, there's more to it.
Yes, it affected immensely. There was a year that I asked my parents to move away from my home. So 1 year away from home, although it helped me, because how this would affect me, my brother coming back home late, 3 a.m., fights that would end, he would end in my parents and in a police station, for example. So it was all very tricky, and we wouldn't know exactly, is that because he's drinking a lot? Is that because he's taking drugs? It wasn't really nothing to do with that, but it was a lot of back and forth. Try one private psychiatrist, and then go to hospital, and then try another one. I think what happened was, at some point, they gave a diagnosis that was schizophrenia at some point, and we were all impacted, thinking, so maybe what's going to happen is he's never going to be back to normal life. Again, not knowing, because of course you can be treated. Yeah, you can be treated.
Well, it's the not knowing, isn't it?
It's the not knowing. So finally, when they found the diagnosis and when he started really accepting it, because there is also a phase, I would say maybe 3 years for them, for the person with the diagnosis to say, yeah, I have to take these meds. And like diabetes, for instance, there is no other way. If I don't do it, I will feel unwell.
Because what happens, they'll stop, start. I'm feeling better. I don't need the medication. And then they have a relapse or an episode.
It happened a lot. Yeah. So when we thought everything was fine, then again, an outburst of anger, breaking glasses, behaving in strange ways that you don't, if you've seen someone in psychosis, you don't explain. You try to understand what's the reason behind that behavior, but you cannot. And because it's your family, you think he'll be fine, he'll be okay, but actually it never happens.
And did you notice when you were growing up, what's the age difference between you and your brother?
3 years.
So
see, he's 3 years older.
And so growing up, did you notice, were there any signs there was a something? What do you think?
Yeah. So prior to that, he would misbehave. He would take the car when he was not allowed. So when he was 15, 16.
So he was a bit of a rebel.
Yes, crossing boundaries all the time. And my relationship with him, always very argumentative, fights between us as teenagers. I still, I do love my brother, and we have a good relationship. We repaired in a way, but looking back, and I've said to everyone in my family, like, it's difficult to accept that he was also not very easy going with me. So I had a lot of struggles with our relationship.
So it's almost like, for you, mental illness, mental health was in your life from an early age.
Yeah.
Not really knowing or understanding.
Exactly, yes. From an early age. And then, as you rightly asked, Michaela, because it's important to look back. So when I was like 9, 10, we would have some situations really weird. For instance, when he had anger, he would break glasses, like windows.
Right,
glasses.
okay. So it sounds like rage.
This is an example, yeah, but there was no, I'm sure explaining, and if he goes back, he will understand, but there was no apparent reason for that anger. And sometimes it would show up with me, with my parents, or himself doing some mischievous behaviors.
And so you moved away from the family home. Okay, so then what happened, when your brother got diagnosed? How old were you? And
when I moved away, well, there were 2 instances. So I moved away when I was 16. I can't remember exactly, but maybe 16, 17. And then I lived a whole year with my relatives, which was amazing. I actually, at the time, didn't want to go back.
Okay.
So there was that, I'm leaving because I had 3 cousins, all more or less the same age. I really enjoyed that. So it was positive. Then when I went back, I lived there for maybe 1 year or a couple of years and moved to São Paulo. So in a way that moving again from my family, from my hometown, was in a way an escape, but at the same time, people would do that. Adolescents or teenagers were doing that for their uni. So there was that as well, like a little excuse. Oh, I'm doing it because I want to improve myself. I want to study. I want to be a better person, etc. So they fully understood that.
Can I just check? Yeah. Was it just you and your brother?
Just
growing up.
Just
and so the reason why I asked, because, your brother being a rebel, obviously actually having bipolar, I imagine he would have got an awful lot of attention because it was walking on eggshells, not knowing when he's going to have an episode or what was going on. So I wonder what happened to you, even though you left home and went back, if he was all his drama with him, and how did you behave?
Well, I got less attention. So that was definitely true.
Yeah.
However, I addressed that, which was good to have that adult conversation with my parents.
So, but how did it affect your behaviour, do you think? Did it affect your behaviour?
Let me think. In there, when I was with them, I wouldn't really share so much of my struggles.
So you would keep it to yourself because there's so much going on with your brother.
Was there any perfectionism that showed up, like trying to just...
Definitely, yeah. So I was a very good student. I wanted to show that, I was doing really well. That's a positive thing, I guess. As a gay cisgender man living in Brazil, which is a country that's quite famous for being homophobic, misogynistic, transphobic, I had to hide that for an important phase, which is teens, you know, the teen years, you are discovering, you are exploring. And I thought, no, this cannot come now to the picture. I will
And
hide
with
as
your
much as
family,
possible.
did you hide too?
Say
With
again?
your sexuality, did you hide too with your family?
Yeah, I didn't speak about until my mom found out.
How did she find out?
So again, this is it says exactly how it could happen, isn't it? So I'm here hiding, and I'm not going to say because I don't want to bring something that may cause despair or conflict. But then it didn't work. So she found out because she went to visit my flat in São Paulo, and she was a bit nosy, I believe. So she checked my computer, or she saw an email at the time, conversation going on with an ex. And then we just had a really real conversation about that. But again, I think in a way, in São Paulo, I was ready.
Right.
I was ready to have that conversation. So I had friends, I had good friends. I had a good network, so I could count on them. I could stay over, you know, like I really felt more empowered. Whereas...
Well, it was your life there. You created a life there that was away from your family.
Yeah. So it's part of my growth. And I know that as a queer counselor, and as I know a lot of LGBTQ go through the same, there is a fear that we all have. And I think this fear is because it's historically happening, so generational.
What is
the fear of being asked to leave your home because you're not accepted.
So then living where you lived, and then when did you go into therapy yourself?
So, well, therapy, unfortunately, came quite late, actually.
Okay.
So therapy, the first time I did, it was when I was 33, I think. So maybe 10 years ago. And again, I think it came late because of money, because of not knowing exactly what therapy was, which nowadays, you know, I'm quite empowered, and I want people to know that they can trust, that they can go to a counselor that understands where they, understand their experiences as my lived experience.
So did you go into therapy in Brazil, or did you wait until you come
Brazil.
here? Okay.
I'm the first time was in Brazil, then twice in here.
So what made you
afterwards.
come to London?
So London was a trajectory
Okay.
to opening up my experiences in life, I believe. So when I was living in my hometown, I was studying a second language. I had the dream of going somewhere, you know, English speaking country. So the US, Australia, you know. But then finally I had a cousin that came to live here for a while. And so I was taking all that
So you
knowledge.
knew someone here.
Yes. And I thought, okay, if she did, I can do that as well.
And did you speak English when you came?
Yes, but not amazingly. Not amazingly. So it was learning how to speak. But I had a lot of understanding, studied for a while. So I think that helps. You know, when you really like the language, you study, you like the culture. So you read, you see movies and all of that.
So you went into therapy here as well. Did you ever think that you were going to train as a therapist, or was it, you know?
No, I never thought about it. I think it's important to highlight that for me, so looking back, I never thought, oh, I'm going to go and see a gay counselor. Can you imagine that? Now, you know, reflecting, of course, I didn't even have that knowledge of how therapy is. What should I look for? I didn't even know. Was it CBT? Was it person-centered?
When I went to therapy, I didn't know that there was even different approaches. I didn't even know, no one I knew was having therapy.
Most people, it's just difficult to get your foot through the door to go and see a therapist, right? A lot of people don't even consider the approach. They're like, therapy is therapy. So,
and it is very different. And you can find the right person. Did you find the right person eventually?
I did.
To work with?
But my first therapist, she said to me, you will have formed a belief from your lived experience, your family, your culture. And I have bad news. This is not going to change. You are not going to change. And I thought, okay, so why am I here for? I'm not so sure if she had the intention to say something else afterwards, but then I fired her. So I'd say that my best therapist was when I was training. So, and then, it was, I could see there LGBTQ friendly with understanding. I think for communities that are marginalized or considered marginalized, for communities that are suffering every day sometimes with microaggressions, again, homophobia, it's very important. Maybe crucial to their healing.
You know, when you were younger in Brazil and your brother was unwell, tension was on your brother, when did you know that you might be gay?
I believe I knew. It's not true that I knew from day one. A lot of people say that. I disagree. For me.
Because not everyone does. Some people do. They just know. They just said, well, I am, and that's it.
I always knew. So I think it was about maybe 12.
Okay.
But for me, so my personal experience was at some point I did date girls and I was interested. So it wasn't like I was faking it. And I think that's when it gets more confusing. Because for my experiences, am I doing that because everyone is doing, dating opposite sex? Am I doing that because it's what I see in movies, in TV series, in soap operas in Brazil? It's very strong. But then I started to grow a higher interest and attraction, I'd say.
So coming back here, moving in to London, then how did your life grow in London?
Yeah, so coming to London, I met a lot of a bigger, I would say, group of gay friends, LGBTQ of all sorts. But I felt more able to go to clubs, date, hold hands, like show affection, which is something I wasn't able to do it back in my country because I felt everyone would look at me. And I'm saying that because I've seen other friends, gay friends, saying the same.
Right.
The freedom that they feel. And that back in Brazil, they feel, again, not so comfortable. But I think it's just, in a way, I think it's a bit cultural because I could do that the same in Brazil. And
but I imagine there is a quite now, I mean, things have changed.
Things have changed.
So there is a gay population in Brazil.
A bigger,
maybe more in the cities.
Yeah. And in Brazil, it's very common, São Paulo at least, I'm from São Paulo, that you see them expressing their love. You see them together. More than here, I find.
Isn't that interesting?
It's very interesting. But again, it's São Paulo. São Paulo is one of the biggest cities in the world. So it doesn't reflect the whole Brazil. And Brazil, I know that Brazil is the country that with the highest number of transphobia crime.
Oh, gosh.
So this is very true. It's very dangerous for trans people to live in Brazil. I'm sure with the gay, lesbian communities, it's also not easy, but I don't have numbers.
Yeah.
I would say it's also high, the hate crime.
Yeah.
And so being here, living here, how's life evolved for you? And when did you decide to train as a therapist?
So living here, it's, as I said, it feels safer. I feel more able to be myself. I actually like living here because a lot of people ask, isn't the weather better?
We've had that conversation. Remember I said to you before, and you said, I don't like the heat. And I was like, and you look at me and I love the heat.
Yeah. So there you go. I think not everyone is the same. And although I like my culture, I like Brazil, I also like it here. So that's something I don't feel I'm missing anything.
No.
When I came here, I worked a lot in retail. I worked for the transport as well for a while, but a lot of with customer-facing roles and a lot with the public. So in a way, I think that gives a lot of skills as well to be talking to people, to be relating. But was only when I started working for TAC. I don't know if I told Michaela.
TAC is the awareness centre.
The
Not
awareness
everyone
centre.
knows, yeah.
So when I started working there, which was after the first lockdown, I believe, or around that time, I started helping clients or people interested in looking for therapy. I started to talking to trainee therapists, newly qualified, and sometimes even therapists that have been in the field for over 5 years. They were all coming and through the door, and there was a lot of conversation. It was when I thought, okay, I think maybe I can do something around this. And then I did the foundation course, which I loved. And then from that on, it's just, I think if you notice you are liking it, it feels easy, it feels, why not? So I did the whole 3 years and
Here you are today.
Yeah.
And then you married here?
Yes, I married here. My partner and I, we've been together for, I can't forget that. 16 years.
You'd be in trouble.
Yes. He will be listening. 16 years. Very proudly.
And he's a therapist?
He's a therapist. So, but we speak about, of course, as therapists, reflecting a lot, giving insights, because if you are living with someone that's a therapist, you expect that they learn and they use that in their relationships. So I learned a lot with him. Yeah, I think it was nowadays really good, because then as I work with couples, I work.
So tell us about your training and the
yes.
kind of people that you work with in practice.
Yeah, so I work with psychosexual issues or sex issues.
Okay,
And
so for our listeners and viewers, what does psychosexual therapy mean? What does it involve? What's it all about?
Yeah, so psychosexual therapy is when one individual is feeling that they have low libido or they have erectile dysfunction, vaginismus for women.
Can you explain to the viewers what that is? Because I think people know erectile dysfunction, but vaginismus...
It's more spoken because of Viagra and I wonder if because it's men. But anyways, vaginismus is when the genitalia, so women genitalia, the muscles are so rigid, so they feel a lot of pain when they have sex. But there are situations where women is struggling, having painful sex, and they think, oh, it's okay. It's just pain.
Normal. Yeah.
It's so sad. It's so unfortunate. So that's the idea of psychosexual therapy. If there is one issue, either with your sexual organ, sexual organ. If you have low libido, or if you have you feel that you have a heightened drive, sometimes that becomes a problem. Again, it's always for sex therapy. Is always when you, as an individual, is feeling there is an issue, there is something I'm not feeling quite right here, and then you look for help.
But also intimacy, and it's not always the case, where some people, they can have sex with, they love someone, and then they don't, it's the intimacy, they don't understand that.
Yeah.
So that's what you can work with as well with couples.
Yeah, so like with couples, you can work with intimacy, you can work with communication. Which is key. Communication is a big one. It sometimes is actually the cause of all problems. So if I'm in my second year and I'm noticing I cannot get my point across to my partner, or I'm getting really triggered with some topics. Maybe time to look for therapy, because what I see is they come really later on, after 10 years of struggling with
the same issue.
So you can imagine how difficult to entangle all of this resentment.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think it can be really difficult when you're in a relationship to even admit that there's a problem, and so many people kind of look at the relationship as a whole and go, well, the rest of it's fine. But also there's an unsaid fear that this could blow everything up, and then what does that mean for my life? But then what is the benefit of going to therapy for people?
Yes. Well, I believe, again, for all, I think maybe all couples that I have seen, they improved.
Right.
They improved communication.
That's affirming to hear
yes.
for anyone listening.
But I just wonder why people wait until they feel that it's the last thing that they can possibly do.
But I think it's just
but even
that.
for individuals as well,
Yeah.
to actually go and, you know, take care of yourself.
I think it's scary to admit that there is something wrong.
But does that carry shame then? Do people feel ashamed that there's something wrong with them? Do they go and sort out their physical?
I agree with you, but what's your take on that, Hilton?
Yeah, I think people they feel ashamed, but maybe not only that. I'm thinking here avoidance.
Yeah, you're right. They don't want to change.
Avoidance, isn't it? So when you have a couple, do you work with couples? Dipti?
No, but that's something I definitely want to do.
So when you have a couple in front of you, the biggest thing I think is resistance. I mean, with maybe all of us, we resist to changes, but with couples, you will be there.
Well, I know with couples, you know, you sort of, if you say to them, you know, give me 5 examples of what you dislike about each other. And then you say, you know, from the beginning of the relationship, give me 5 that you like. They know the dislike.
Very quickly.
And then the likes are like, you've really got to bring them back to the beginning of when they actually liked each other. And you think, gosh, you're in this relationship and you haven't liked each other for this amount of time. You know, it's almost, and I think it's all the resentment and everything that they've co-created in a relationship, that it's really hard to find the goodness in the relationship.
I also had well, I'm not going to say if he, she, or they, but I had someone not wanting to say the bad things in the relationship.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. What do you work with then?
Yes, exactly, because that's the avoidance, isn't it? Avoiding conflict, finding really difficult to say, you know, I didn't like this. I didn't
But that can happen in the workplace. It can happen with friendships.
Yeah.
You know, conflict. People really avoid any form of conflict.
Yeah.
But that's often a fear of the possible consequences. You know, whether a relationship might blow up or someone might become angry or distant, and sometimes people would much rather stay with the painful kind of relationship dynamics now.
But it's what they know. So where are you at now in your profession? You know, working with people. Where would you say you're at?
Yes. Well, I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
So I have my private practice. My opinion is it's good to do different things. I work for a charity that works with the LGBTQ communities, and they also work with the intersection of race, class, religion, which is very, very important these days. It's called NAS Project. They have been going on for 30 years.
Wow.
And once I started there, I would ask, because they work with South Asian, Black and Latino communities, and I work at the Awareness Center as well with the NHS Wandsworth.
And that's short-term work?
That's short-term work. It's very rewarding as well, because we get to know, you know, what are the clients, what are they bringing within the NHS, which can be very diverse. But I would like to do is group work. And
yeah, that's really rewarding.
Yes.
I loved group work when I was doing it.
Again, not only, I don't want to just be so niche, but LGBTQ, and start these conversations, because I think they are very helpful for a lot of men, gay men, well, trans men as well. So I still don't know exactly how this will look like, but it's something I really passionate about.
Yeah.
You know, I remember being in training and everything many moons ago, that I never, as a heterosexual woman, I never thought about my sexuality. But then I think when you work with the LGBT community, they do think about their sexuality. I think it's changed, you know, in the younger generation. You've got to keep up.
Yeah.
Can you keep up with the younger generation now?
I can.
Yeah.
I think
This is something new every week
I know.
coming out, and you think,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's like every letter of the rainbow. Huh?
Well, thank you for mentioning that. I was trained, GSRD it's called, is an acronym for gender, sex, sexuality, and relationship diversity.
Okay.
So you can
Thank
see
you for
how
saying that. That's the first time
you
I've
can
heard
see how
that
that
phrase, so-
encompasses a lot of
Yeah.
different groups of people.
Yep.
And now more recently they add the letter E, which is erotic. So it's like kink communities and different ways of role playing, enjoying themselves, etc. So as a therapist trained in that, you'll be open for different genders or ways of people identifying themselves. Also, sometimes it's about their looks. So the way that they appear to others. So a woman would prefer like be more masculine, or a man should prefer to be what in the past people would say androgynous. Yeah. So sexuality, again, bisexual, heterosexual, homosexual, but also thinking about other things, intersex, you know, like being open for the differences. And relationships, which no monogamy or consensus. Now they are talking a lot about consensus, no monogamy, which is great, I think. And polyamorous relationships.
So I think our discussion kind of lends itself to understanding that relationships can look like so many different things. They can be monogamous, they can be polyamorous, and everything else in between. But is there a common thread that you see people coming into a therapy room with, something that is commonly experienced universally?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, communication. And by that I mean emotional, your needs, wants. Like, what do I want from my partner? What do I need? So, yeah, people struggle to actually know what they need.
Right.
It's very common.
Before they even are able to express it.
Exactly. And that exploration will help them, oh, that's what I need. Actually, I'm not so ashamed of what I need if I'm thinking about sex and couples. But also the communication of their everyday life, like, you know, to let them know where you are, let them know who's going to cook, who's not going to cook, you know, what you're going to do, like the day-to-day communication.
That's the foundational stuff, right?
And I think also in relationships, it stems from our family systems as well, wherever, you know, whether we're brought up with two parents, one parent, whatever, existing, you know, extended family.
Yeah.
It is about communication, but also I think, isn't it about trust? Having trust, 100%. Because whatever type of relationship you're in, there still has to be trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And building that, how to
absolutely.
build trust.
So if you were to send a message out to our listeners and viewers, what would it be? What would you say to them?
Yeah. Don't be afraid of coming to therapy and couples therapy.
What would you say to those who are in a healthy relationship about therapy?
I would say, don't wait until you're feeling, you know, that you're struggling. If you feel something is not right, go search for. There are low cost options as well. I'm thinking, because some people cannot afford.
Sure.
There are low cost options. Is a couple, they can share the fee.
Yeah.
And
It's very practical of you.
exactly. and also 6 sessions, you know, because the thing is, people feel afraid, oh, I'm going to start this agreement now, or contract, whatever is the way you call, and this will take ages. This will be 3 months, 6 months. But no, it could be 6 weeks.
Yeah, you could do a lot of good work in that time.
And then
exactly.
we contract after that. If they want to carry on, they can.
Or they can come back at a later stage. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for inviting me, for
Thank
having
you,
me.
Hilton.
You've been listening to A Bunch of Therapists with me, Michaela McCarthy, and Dipti Solanki.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to review, like and subscribe to wherever you listen to your podcasts. And do follow us on our socials. Until next time, see you soon.